Every day, we make decisions, react to situations, and interact with others, often without realizing how much our own perceptions shape our reality. Have you ever made a choice and later found yourself justifying it, even when doubts crept in, or assumed someone was judging you, only to realize it was your own insecurity? These are natural human tendencies, but they can cloud our judgment and affect our relationships. We all experience stress differently, communicate in unique ways, and hold values shaped by our personal journeys. Yet, we often expect others to think and act just like us. This leads to misunderstandings, conflicts, and frustration. The truth is, people prioritize different things. What motivates you may not motivate someone else. What seems obvious to you might be completely different from another's perspective. Everyone is shaped by their experiences. Life isn't about what happens to us, it's about how we respond. Two people can face the same challenge, yet one crumbles while the other grows stronger. Why? Because our reactions define us, not the experiences themselves. Stoicism teaches us that obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Every hardship, every failure, every disappointment is an opportunity to build character. Imagine a storm hitting a tree. A weak tree falls, but a strong one bends, adapts, and stands taller. Life's difficulties test us in the same way. Instead of complaining about problems, we can ask, what can I learn? How can this make me better? If we train our minds to see setbacks as lessons, we become unstoppable. When we control our reactions, we take charge of our destiny. The world will throw challenges our way. It always does. But if we use them to develop patience, wisdom, and resilience, we transform struggles into strength. The choice is ours. Be broken by experiences or be shaped into someone stronger. Your experiences don't define you. Your response to them does. Diverse communication styles. We all communicate differently. Some people are direct and to the point, while others express themselves with emotion and detail. Some prefer deep conversations, while others keep it light and casual. Understanding these differences can transform our interactions, helping us connect better with others. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control how others communicate, but we can control how we respond. Instead of getting frustrated when someone speaks differently than we do, we can adapt. If someone is blunt, we don't have to take it personally. If someone is indirect, we can listen more carefully. By adjusting our approach, we create smoother conversations and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Think of communication like a bridge. If we refuse to meet in the middle, the connection falls apart. But if we're flexible, choosing words wisely, listening actively, and responding with understanding, we build stronger relationships. Next time you feel misunderstood or struggle to connect, ask yourself, am I truly listening? Am I adapting to the way they communicate? When we master this, we unlock the power of effective communication, turning every conversation into an opportunity for clarity and connection. Universal insecurities. No matter how confident someone appears, everyone has insecurities. Some fear failure, others worry about their appearance, and many struggle with self-doubt. These vulnerabilities are part of being human, yet we often hide them, believing we're alone in our struggles. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge our insecurities not as weaknesses, but as opportunities for growth. Instead of letting insecurities control us, we can face them with reason. Ask yourself, is this fear based on reality or my perception? Most of the time, our doubts come from overthinking rather than actual threats. By managing our thoughts, we take away the power insecurities have over us. At the same time, understanding our own vulnerabilities helps us become more compassionate toward others. When we recognize that everyone struggles in their own way, we develop empathy instead of judgment. The confident speaker may battle imposter syndrome. The person who seems distant may fear rejection. When we manage our insecurities with wisdom and treat others with kindness, we build stronger, more authentic connections. True strength isn't about having no insecurities. It's about facing them with courage and helping others do the same. Varied responses to stress. Stress is universal, but the way people handle it varies. Some stay calm under pressure, while others become anxious or frustrated. Some withdraw, while others seek support. Understanding these differences helps us navigate relationships with more patience and empathy. Stoicism teaches that while we can't always control stress itself, we can control how we respond. Instead of letting stress overwhelm us, we can step back, breathe, and ask, is this within my control? If it is, we take action. If it isn't, we let go of unnecessary worry. Equally important is recognizing that others may cope with stress differently than we do. Someone snapping at us might not be rude, they might be overwhelmed. Instead of reacting emotionally, we can respond with patience. When we understand that stress manifests in different ways, we strengthen our ability to support others while maintaining our own peace. Life will always bring pressure, deadlines, and unexpected challenges. But by mastering our reactions and showing compassion for others, we turn stress from a burden into an opportunity for growth. True strength isn't about avoiding stress. It's about learning to handle it with wisdom and resilience. Inherent judgment. We all judge instantly, often without thinking. We see a person, hear a comment, or experience a situation, and our minds immediately form opinions. Sometimes we're right, but often our quick judgments are incomplete or even wrong. Stoicism teaches us to pause, reflect, and seek deeper understanding before drawing conclusions. Imagine seeing someone acting cold or distant. Our instinct might be to label them as rude, but what if they're struggling with personal issues? What if they're simply shy? When we jump to conclusions, we limit our ability to truly understand people and situations. The Stoic approach is simple. Suspend judgment until you have the full picture. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can ask ourselves, do I really know what's going on? Could there be another explanation? This mindset helps us stay calm, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and make wiser decisions. By resisting the urge to judge too quickly, we develop patience, empathy, and clarity. The world isn't always what it seems at first glance. True wisdom comes from looking deeper, questioning assumptions, and embracing understanding over judgment. The less we assume, the more we truly see. Self-interest in relationships. People naturally act in their own self-interest. Whether in friendships, family, or work, most decisions are influenced by personal needs, desires, or survival instincts. This isn't necessarily selfish, it's human nature. Yet, when someone prioritizes themselves over us, we often feel hurt or betrayed. Stoicism teaches us to accept this reality and respond with reason, not resentment. Instead of expecting people to always act in our favor, we can shift our perspective. Ask yourself, is their action truly meant to harm me, or are they just looking out for themselves? More often than not, it's the latter. By understanding this, we reduce unnecessary disappointment and navigate relationships with clarity. This doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment. Stoicism encourages mutual respect. If self-interest consistently harms us, we can set boundaries. But rather than taking every action personally, we can approach situations with logic and composure. By accepting that people are driven by their own needs, just as we are, we foster relationships built on realistic expectations, respect, and understanding. True wisdom is not in demanding selflessness from others, but in mastering our response to their nature. Projection of thoughts and feelings. Have you ever assumed someone was upset with you, only to realize later that it was your own insecurity speaking? Or thought someone was judging you when, in reality, they weren't even thinking about you? This is projection, when we unknowingly impose our own thoughts, fears, or emotions onto others. Stoicism teaches us to step back, reflect, and recognize these projections before they distort our reality. Our minds are quick to create stories. If we're feeling anxious, we might assume others are being distant. If we're frustrated, we might believe someone else is being difficult. But more often than not, these assumptions say more about us than about them. Instead of reacting impulsively, Stoicism encourages self-reflection. Is this truly about them, or is it my own perception? By questioning our thoughts before accepting them as truth, we prevent misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts. We become more patient, more understanding, and more in control of our emotions. Healthy interactions begin with self-awareness. When we stop projecting and start observing, we see situations as they are, not as our emotions make them seem. Master your mind and you master your relationships. What matters most to you? Success, family, freedom, loyalty? Everyone holds different values, shaped by their experiences, upbringing, and beliefs. Yet conflicts often arise when we expect others to prioritize what we do. Stoicism teaches us to respect these differences rather than resist them, allowing us to build stronger, more meaningful relationships. When someone acts in a way we don't understand, our instinct might be to judge. How can they think that way? Why don't they see it like I do? But instead of reacting emotionally, we can take a Stoic approach. Their values are different, not wrong. By shifting our mindset, we foster tolerance rather than frustration. This doesn't mean abandoning our own beliefs. Instead, it's about realizing that diversity in values enriches our perspective. We may not always agree, but by listening and understanding, we grow wiser. The world isn't meant to be a mirror of our own thoughts. It's a vast, complex space where differences create depth. Next time you encounter someone with opposing values, pause. Seek to understand before dismissing. Respecting differences doesn't weaken your own values, it strengthens your ability to navigate life with wisdom and grace. Motivational differences. What drives you to wake up every morning? Success, recognition, security, or personal growth? Everyone has different motivations, and understanding this can transform how we interact with others. Stoicism teaches us to recognize these differences rather than assume that what motivates us will motivate others. Sometimes we get frustrated when people don't respond the way we expect. A colleague might not share our drive for success, a friend might prioritize comfort over ambition, or a family member might seek stability while we chase adventure. Instead of judging, Stoicism encourages us to ask, what truly drives this person? By understanding their motivation, we can align our approach, communicate better, and build stronger relationships. This mindset is also useful in leadership and teamwork. If we know what inspires someone, we can encourage them effectively rather than forcing our own perspective on them. Some thrive on challenges, while others seek security. Some want recognition, while others value purpose. By embracing motivational differences, we foster cooperation and deeper connections. True wisdom lies in adapting our approach, not changing others, but understanding what moves them and working with it. Post-decision rationalization. Have you ever made a choice and then found yourself justifying it, even if deep down you weren't sure it was the best one? This is post-decision rationalization, a natural tendency where we convince ourselves that our past choices were right, even when they may not have been. Stoicism teaches us to recognize this behavior in ourselves and others, allowing us to respond with awareness and compassion. We see this everywhere. Someone buys an expensive gadget and insists it was a great investment, even if they regret it. A friend stays in a toxic relationship, convincing themselves it's not that bad. Instead of admitting a mistake, people often reshape reality to protect their ego. This isn't dishonesty, it's human nature. Stoicism encourages self-awareness. Am I justifying or am I being honest with myself? When we acknowledge our own rationalizations, we grow wiser. And when we see others doing it, we can respond with patience instead of frustration. Rather than arguing or forcing someone to admit they were wrong, we can guide them toward reflection. True wisdom isn't about proving people wrong, it's about helping ourselves and others see clearly. Key takeaway: Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control others, we can control how we respond. By recognizing projection, biases, and emotional reactions, we gain clarity. When we accept differences rather than resist them, we build stronger connections and become more resilient. Next time you feel frustrated by someone's actions, take a step back. Ask yourself, am I reacting based on my own perspective, or am I truly understanding the situation? Master your mind and you'll master your life, because true strength lies not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself.